More like Ted from Ted.
Excellent. So he's going to piss on my shoes, right?
Recapping where we were a couple of weeks back. So you've all experienced the fall of the planet, the integration of all of the organic and inorganic matter into this dungeon, with the leftovers being absorbed by a corporation that's overseeing the fall of the planet and telecasting it off into the cosmos. Your group got jammed together going down into the dungeon, realizing that you had actually had some precursor interactions with each other, thinking that it was a dream. It turns out it wasn't. To a greater or lesser extent, you got some benefits and buffs from taking part in that. You've so far meandered around, as well as throwing a sleeping bag through the dungeon, having a couple of different encounters, including the latest one, which appeared to be a goblin cleanup crew that didn't really expect to see you and weren't overly prepared for battle, and you quickly dispatched with them. Rick decided to try and have a good chat to the hobgoblin leader of that little faction, who was having none of it, and through some means, unbeknownst to you guys, I think the term was turn himself into a hobgoblin smoothie, which made me laugh so much when when I was looking back over this. Finishing off, you all ended up staggering into the safe room, whether that was through physical or mental trauma. Mental trauma, especially for Ivy, who was desperately trying to save the lives of the two goblins who were absolutely skewered and impaled from a very angry raccoon, who turned them into shish kebabs. And despite Ivy's best efforts, she couldn't revive them. And upon coming into there, you spied a strange looking stuffed animal sitting on the top of a bar, in a very incongruous looking 80s style Hungry Jack's fast food restaurant chain is essentially what the innards look like, that then lurched to life. And that was where we left off. So
I'll be back.
he even took his headphones off, so I can't even keep on. I hope everything's okay. But while he's doing that, do any of you have any questions of what has gone before that you want very quick answers to before Jay gets back?
So is everyone like dead?
What do you mean?
Like that was inside in the, or are they okay?
Your whole party made it okay. There was a couple of
you
you that was sporting some wounds and injuries, but you've come into this safe room that had a shimmering surface on the door that you were all able to walk through that membrane without issue, and the door, I believe, was closed by the last person through, as you entered. So you're in a safe space, and there's a couple of you with some injuries. I believe that was Rick and Fokionis. Fokionis especially was copping a fair flogging when the goblins realized he was apparently an easy target than the very difficult to hit monk.
Yeah, no, didn't attack the sorcerer. I'm invincible.
You're an invincible god, hey?
Yep.
All right, are you good for us to continue, Jay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? Okay, everything's okay.
I needed dice. Dice were in another room.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to go collect dice.
Well played.
Understood. All right, so as you've come in, stumbling in and finding your seat, where we left off, what appeared to be a Care Bear replica, like a very big, large, old 80s style yellow Care Bear, lurched upright from where it was sitting, that really looked like a toddler who'd run out of batteries and just gone, I'm just going to sleep here, and folded at the hips and face planted on the bench top, leading the impression, even more so to look like a stuffed animal. And as it's rubbed its face, revealing just this grinning cherubic face that's made to look, you think it'd make it look strange or even sinister or concerning, but for some reason or somehow the bright yellow, the black eye patch with the bright yellow sun on it sitting over its right eye just makes the whole thing look even more adorable and huggable. Despite the fact that as it lurched upright and kind of almost knocked a bottle off the bench top that was sitting beside it and was expelling gas from both ends, it still manages to carry off an air of adorability. In its, essentially around the same height as Alia, the raccoon, about 3 foot high, but definitely more puffed out with, big oversized feet and hands that, or paws that look about comically 3 times larger than what they probably should be. And as you are looking and sort of dropping wherever you landed in whatever state of dishevelment you were in, coming into the safe room, a few of you catch a glimpse. Rick especially noticing a few more details that in the fur it appears to be, instead of just straight wispy yellow, there actually appears to be tiny little miniature hearts and sun emblems woven into the fur itself. It's an extremely extravagant look to the way that this creature, whatever it is and whatever it actually is, has been put together or exists, because you don't know too much about it just yet. So different to the appearance, as it sort of lurched to life, you've heard this quite deep, gravelly, and as much as I can do it, voice just go, rubbing the one good eye, looking over at the mob of you that have just come through his doorway, and like, oh, look at you, sorry sacks of crawler shite. But then as that kind of rubbing that bleary eye, and at that point kind of sounds like he's talking to himself more than anything, that eye opens much more widely as he takes stock of you. You can see that the bright piercing blue is very much looking much more adult and grown up than the quite childish toy-like figure that you see in the body. And as he's taken in, looking at the group of you collapsed in and around his room in his restaurant, has looked around just to the group in general. Oh, dreamers, eh?
I'll be
Lucky bastards. Bet you've had an easy time so far. So, leans back. Who won the ring match? My money's on the big bugger. And he hooks his thumb over at Fokionis and looks around at you expectantly, just taking you all in and kind of waking up a bit. And we've lost Jay again.
I could hear one of the cats screaming in the background. So,
gotcha. I'm happy to hold that question till he gets back if you would like. You guys are more than welcome to address it. But
Right, we can jump in.
you can jump in. So
indicate
it's asking who won.
The 2 winners, I guess. And
And how are you doing that? Sorry.
I just like point by one with each hand. I just like point towards them.
He kind of looks at you in a little bit confused and slight disbelief that the elf that is just collapsed in the stall, she is just almost catatonic at that point. And the raccoon, which he's already done a double take at as she walked in, had taken out this competition. He looked, so you could just see a frown of puzzlement, but then also a slight shake of the head. And went, oh, so no one took out the win. That's a big miss, and just leaves it at that. Just a little bit of a shaking of his head, and as he's shaking his head, you just see him start grabbing out pint glasses. So if you're not familiar, pints are just over half a liter. And from somewhere out comes a 5-liter bottle of vodka, and two-handed because of the giant oversized paws. As he's shaking his head, he's starting to pour what appears to be a giant glass of vodka.
We're gonna get drunk tonight.
For each of the people who are here, mumbling, "Oh, where are my manners? Where are my manners?" As he's gone from shaking his head about.
Low key, I like drunk Ted.
I think it's. I'll lean over to the raccoon. I think it. Isn't that Friend Bear? It's Friend Bear, right?
You see the head just whip around and go, fucking 80s cartoons, that fucking AI. I'm not a Care Bear. This is not my near. This and just goes off into this mumbling, head
Good
shaking.
on you, Buck.
Yeah, you not gonna lie, mate. You look like a Care Bear.
Takes a
Smell
look
like
at the
one.
takes a look at the two
At
of you
least you're
and,
not a pony, man.
and not breaking eye contact with Rick after that quip, just proceeds to drink the first pint glass of the vodka, maintaining eye contact the whole time, puts it down, refills it again. Clearly unimpressed with the current, for whatever reason, and
Lala's getting
alluded to some of it,
wasted.
but he's unhappy with the current state of things. But he's going to keep on pouring these drinks. What would you guys like to do, having just landed into this room and apparently woken up?
I want to see how many beers it takes him to pass out.
Yes.
Well, looking at the wall behind him and the empty bottle that was beside him, there is a fair you can make an assumption there's a fair constitution there. But while you're sitting back looking, Mort somehow, sorry, he hasn't given you his name yet. You haven't asked. The Care Bear slides his way down off the bar top and just reaches up. He can just reach the top of the bar two-handed, and he's walking around to see who would, basically holding this thing out. You know, who wants one? He's got this pint glass. Unclean. These were clean glasses. He's left the one that he sculled refilled up on the bench top.
Thankfully.
Who wants a pint of vodka?
Rick
Definitely
has,
not me.
Rick,
More for me, little one.
Legal drinking age. I don't...
Rick has. Yeah, actually. Can you drink?
I've never had alcohol in my life. I'd end up as a fucking white girl wasted.
You're a
For sick.
0.01% anomaly. I can't answer your drinking age for you. I need you to negotiate that with your owner when she's back conscious. But until then, I think we can safely assume that you were allowed into the dungeon. So some sort of conversion of age meant you're over 18.
Where I put my age?
What is
Rick-
the conversion between raccoon to adult to human? Just
I think if we went something like dogs, I believe you were 3 or 4,
right.
so you'd definitely be over if you went a similar conversion. So he's walking around offering drinks. I think Focchionis
I'm
took
apparently
one gladly.
18.
There you go. That
Oh,
worked out well.
excuse me there, oh, kind and cuddly person. I would be liking one of those drinks. If only you have some raspberry cordial I can put inside of it. With the vodka, of course.
Oh, Red Bull, man.
Starts mumbling.
Accept a Red Bull, if that is okay. Go.
Takes a look at you, like looks you up and down. This giant
Excellent. I
green
was hoping
half
for this.
orc who's wanting red cordial in his vodka, and just continues shaking his head, which hasn't really stopped since he found out that the raccoon and the elf won the battle royale.
Notices this and smirks to himself and looks at the Care Bear and, sticking his chest area out towards the bear, goes, "What are you staring at, bro? I thought you was a Care Bear."
I'll give you fucking care. And with that, he mumbles, walks behind the bar, disappears behind the bar because the bar's taller than what he is. There's sort of like this little yellow tuft of hair visible just above the bar top. You hear some rumbling around. You see some shit get thrown, and then out he comes with just this huge bottle, almost as big as the bottle of vodka of red cordial. He proceeds to pick up your glass, take a big swig to make room for the cordial because it was full, and then just pours in to top it off. About top 20% are now cordial. Do you want me to stir that?
That depends, mate. What are you going to stir it with?
And he just puts his thumb in and stirs it around.
Oh,
the glass
damn. I would not touch that.
It's okay. It could have been
You don't know what kind of diseases he has.
true, but it's vodka. I'm sure that'll kill everything.
Would anyone else like to accept a drink from Mort? He's now back. He's gone back. He's got another one. They're offered around for all of you. Whoever would like one.
Yeah,
Count me out.
I should keep
No.
that.
I
Stop
take
calling him
one,
Mort.
but I just look at it. I guess.
All right, so Zach's politely taken it and then put it on the table in front of him. All right, so not getting any other customers. Your host has gone back up to the bench top, and it's at that point, having put that drink down, as he was doing the rounds and offering the drinks, the the cuddly bear has noticed just how banged up Ivy is, how not physically damaged, but she has just fallen onto a seat ever since she was assisted in, half carried in, and has just been in a catatonic state ever since she landed there. And in different to that gruff voice and that kind of rude manner of stirring the drinks when it didn't match his view of possibly how the drink should have been taken, gently belying a real strength that is not clear in the rotund cuddly form, just gently picks Ivy up, and you see him wave his hand toward carrying her one section of the wall, and it opens up and you see the door stays open. There's a row of dormitory style looking beds. And he takes her in clear view of all of you at the whole time, and just lays her very carefully into one of those beds, leaves the door open, and coming back
Nap
out,
time.
look, you will all have the ability to sleep in there. She needs it more than anyone. I'll leave the door open. We don't know each other just yet. She will be fine. She'll be safe. So Ivy's now, you can see her just gentle repose, calmly breathing, but she is out to it at the moment.
So we're safe in here?
You are, look, sorry, where are my manners?
Neck minute trapdoor.
Takes another big swig of he's now collected his own glass of vodka somehow. No one even saw him go near the bar, but he's now got it in his hands. Look, name's Mort. Saw my name on the door. This is my place. I'll answer your question, but first, who am I talking to?
Nice to meet you, Mort. I'm Zachary.
Nods
and
in your
I
direction.
hold out sort of my hand.
Yep, he reaches out, but
Like,
just the big furry pouring. You're essentially shaking hands with one or two fingers with that giant toy-like mitt. But there's definitely individual digits there, and like you saw with how easily he carried Ivy, there's definitely that form belies some hidden strength in Mort.
New party member?
Sorry, I missed that.
Eldon.
Okay.
What did we do in the last campaign, Spa? Every time we met some random people.
I don't know. What did you do?
Get what you fucking deserve.
So I'm assuming the rest of you we're doing. Everyone's happy enough to introduce themselves, whatever manner it suits you. You're gonna shake hands. Are you all happy enough to introduce yourselves to Mort?
Forgonis has taken up his natural position in this sort of setting with a large drink. He's standing at the door with a counter in his hand, just like counting imaginary people.
Rick is. Rick's dropped down to one knee. He's pulled out his backpack and he's going through his backpack to see exactly what he has on him, because all this stuff materialized out of fucking nowhere. And sure, Rick
I'm searching behind the bar for a can of Coke.
Why not?
And as you start trying to go behind Mort's bar, you just see him go, no, waves a hand, doesn't move, and that same sheen that was across the entryway just bars your access from behind the bar. That is clearly a no-go zone. There is no
Why? What you got hiding down there?
No raccoons welcome. So as you've done your introductions, Rick is now rummaging through, slinging shit out of the backpack that contains far more than what the size would indicate, as was explained to you in the massive dump of information you got when you walked into this dungeon. And you each have far more, an infinite capacity to carry things. So to a greater or lesser extent, including 15 pounds of rubbish. and iron and the junk that some of you are carrying, Mort does sit
Trash
down
Panda, what do you
and
expect?
and settle in to a chair and go, look, and he pulls out again from no idea where. There's no, he's not actually wearing any clothes. He is a Care Bear looking dude, so that everything is covered in that beautiful silken fur. But suddenly he has a spiral notebook in his hand, a pen, and out of nowhere a monocle has appeared and is now over his one good eye as he's going through and working through, kind of murmuring to himself on this list of paper and go, all right, it's been a while, bear with me here.
Man, Dante
So-
would have had a meme just then.
I'm sure he's working on it. A Care Bear and a monocle. so he's going, yep, all right. It's been a while. So name's Mort, done that, my place, give drinks. Okay, so bit of info that I don't think you would have got off the fucking AI that runs this thing. Prick of a thing. So I'm Mort. I used to be an adventurer like yourselves, or crawler, I think they're using this season. I've been where you are now. At the end of my journey, this is where I ended up. So my role, they call us bopkas. Don't ask me what the fuck that means. It's a Kuatin thing. I don't know their language. I don't know what it means, but it's what they use to refer to those of us that manage these safe rooms. So I will be attached with you for your journey through this crawl, however long you last. So every time you enter a safe room, I will be there, regardless of where I am. As soon as you enter that door, I will instantly be into this space, or the iteration of it in every location that you go to. Some dungeons have them. The world in between is where this is actually based, and it is sometimes instanced out at the determination of the AI. I'll never know when I may run into you next. That will be up to you to walk through my door, but I will be in here ready and able to help within the limitations of my role, as long as you're not dead. So he's ticking off his little list. What else? Okay. So when you're in here, you can rest safely. The same protections that cover the door. I will be able to keep you safe from anyone who may wish to do you harm. The bad guys out there, and he just points on the other side of the membrane, they can't come in. One of the functions of the system is true safe rooms. No one can enter but you crawlers, and obviously us. And he's pointing to himself as one of the bopkas who manage the safe rooms. What else do you want to know? And then he's looking through his list to see, and it's just, if anyone looked over his shoulder, you'd have no idea what's there. It's worse than Doctor's scrawl. It's not a dialect. It's not something hidden. He just has shithouse handwriting that he's currently trying to decipher, and it's probably shithouse, possibly due to the liquor collection that is behind the bar, that there may have been several imbibations as he's putting that list together.
Pause.
That could be it as well.
It's totally not the lack of opposable thumbs holding him back. It's the alcohol. Yeah, that's the real problem.
Well, he seems to be managing quite dexterously the pen, which is you can't quite see how he's holding it in that paw, considering he didn't have enough knuckles or joints to grip a pint glass. That's a two-hander. He's like a toddler with a sippy cup when he's drinking out of the pint glass, but he's quite dexterous with the finer implement with the pen. For those who are paying attention to what he's doing there. So this is he's introduced himself. This is Mort. He's the overseer of your safe room, and he'll be with you throughout the crawl.
Okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna look at Mort and say, I'll walk over to Mort, walk over to this big bird looking motherfucker, and I will very politely say, hello Mort, I'm Rick. Didn't need to introduce myself. Don't care about you enough to. Anyway, quick question.
Rude.
Real quick, then we'll get out of your hair. What the fuck is going on?
Takes a deep breath.
Sorry. He's not the brightest, is he?
Rick,
There's
only so much.
I'm sorry, Zachary. I forgot it's a dream.
he's in the middle of answering your question. He just pauses to look at this interaction between the two humans, one who seemed intent on finding out more, and then all of a sudden, squirrel, and he's
He
had
murdered
his
the guy.
attention diverted by Zachary. But I'm
You don't
assuming
like
it comes back.
Yes.
As you progress through, I can tell you more, and his voice is becoming quite stilted, almost like he's having to internally process what he's saying. Before he's kind of rumbling and rambling and, quite naturally talking, and he's very much a hard on his sleeve talker. There's not a lot not hidden from what you've heard from Mort, including his abuse of the AI and, explaining his feelings on that when he was cracking it earlier. But here he's really choosing his words carefully. As the sentence structure becomes a little bit more stilted, talking to Rick and answering his questions, answering his question. But if you make it through this level, you'll come to the world in between. It is much different to where you currently are. It's the true home of this safe room. There are more buildings and interactions available to you, but I cannot explain much more than what you heard announced when you entered, unless you survive this dungeon. Think of it as a tutorial or
Okay.
a trial.
Okay. Rick will get down on one knee, so he's closer to Mort's height, because got to be respectful. And I will look Mort directly in the eye, and I will just thank you, Mort. What the fuck are you talking about?
You are part of now an
No,
international multi.
Mort? What the fuck? Where are we? Why is it Chuck E. Cheese? Okay. Why the fuck's he dressed as a magician? I doubt that's new. That seems just like a life choice. She's a fucking raccoon. Okay. Big boy over here is about to rip my arms off. And a man just turned to liquid outside. Mort? Mort?
What?
Mort
the fuck, Mort?
is just looking at you a little bit confused, and he goes, Rick, you may be under the mistaken impression that I have any fucking say on what is happening. I don't. I finished my crawl in this position. I am indentured to
Walk away
Borat
from
Corporation.
Mort's useless. Fuck Mort. I hate Mort almost
He's
as
a
much as
soft
I hate
bear.
some of my
Maybe you like
party.
that sort of thing. I'm not judging.
So
I just wander away mumbling, just useless fucking Tweety looking Fluttershy fucking wannabe piece of goddamn fucking Mighty Mouse crap.
as you're walking away doing this, the
flush
rest
of
of you who
Iliad.
are still actually looking at Mort see a slight little smile creep across his face. He seems to be really enjoying the fact that there's someone else who's just expressing and dealing with this shit in quite an honest and expressive way. He takes no offense. Not that Rick can see it, but he takes no offense.
Fucking
And
Tuesday, Mort.
he actually turns back to Zachary, who had asked a similar question, and just continues his explanation. He goes, I can't tell you too much more than what you already know. You chose to come down the portal. I did what you did. I started my life, and fuck, I hope I get it back. But I was majestic. I was a sky hunter. I was an eagle who could soar. I kept my race when I walked into the dungeon, and I made trouble. And I got a certain way through, and this was the deal I made to rather than lose my life, I signed on to manage these safe rooms for 15 cycles. This is my last one, as long as you make it past level 8. If you as my group make it past level 8, I will have fulfilled all of my requirements to be released. But make no mistake, level 11, that's the second furthest anyone has ever made it in thousands of these falls.
My hands shoot up in the air. Do any of you know what the fuck he's talking about? Does this make sense to anyone?
Yeah,
I'm
they
just along for the
said-
ride.
Shut up, Dream Boy. Any questions I have are automatically to be assumed, not directed at you. That's right. I'm including the fucking raccoon and not you.
That's
Stand over there, David Copperfield. I'll be with you in a moment.
That's Bert Wonderstone to you.
I like you. That was funny. I'm just very stressed. That was very good, Orkman.
Thanks.
All right, as
no,
Rick is finishing his rant, and some of you may well be trying to
passed it out.
reply, but just silence falls over the room. You can still see each other's mouths are moving. Even Mort was about to interject and try and add a bit more, apparently something more to the conversation to hope maybe try and answer your questions, or maybe just be a dick, who knows. But lips are moving and no sounds are coming out. And what you see in the room is the screens that were above the service counter of what would normally be where you order your food in the restaurant, which were previously black and off, have all flicked to life. It's just a smiling, happy face, and the mouth is moving in basically like an emoji, a smiling emoji that the lips are flapping, or the mouth is flapping on. And the announcement is coming over through the room, and you've lost no other audio is heard in the room while it's playing. And the announcement goes through the TV. Hello, crawlers. The dungeon is now sealed. We have a diverse group joining us this season, and we're very happy to have you here. We had just under 13 million human crawlers make it through the gates and into the dungeon. We're already down to just under 10 million. A quick note, the entrance out of this dungeon will not be eligible to open until the introductory episode of Dungeon Crawler World, Tunnels Throughout the Galaxy, which will be approximately 8 of your hours. Once that happens, the entrances to the second level will be able to be opened if you're good enough. They'll be populated, they'll be there if you can find them or trigger them. There'll be no lag time for the appearance of any additional levels after this one. On behalf of the Borant Corporation, I wanted to thank you for volunteering, and I wish you all good luck and a happy crawl. And then the screen flickers off after the emoji gives a little slow wink, and the sound comes back on, and all you hear is whatever else was happening. You hear Mort go, fucking gobshite. And the audio is back in the room.
Okay.
So you've just heard that 13 million entered, 3 million of your fellow humans who came down have already perished, attempting
Idiots.
whatever they are doing, however that compares to your experience. I like that. Fucking idiots.
Rick takes a breath.
That's 3 million lives.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Bert, quick question.
No.
Yes.
Right then. What is this room for? What are you doing here?
Literally just said that.
Sorry, that you said Bert. So if you're talking to Mort,
Odie.
He's not looking
Sailor
at you at this
Moon, whatever the hell
point.
you want to call him.
He's
Yellow
he's still not looking at you. Hasn't even read you like this. He's not being rude. He is just not either familiar with the lexicon or the
clicked
reference.
My fingers in his direction. Tweety.
Tweety.
It's like another luggage meme.
The clicking kind of gets his attention. He sort of looks over and goes, is that another fucking stupid 80s cartoon? But you've got his attention.
70s, 80s, and today, motherfucker. So, can we leave? Can we go? Do we have to stay here?
You absolutely can leave. You can rest here safely. For you guys, in terms of you understanding your characters and what you can do in this here. So when you're in the safe room, you can undertake your short rest or your long rests safely, is when he's saying that it's a safe place to rest, just in case anyone missed that. That's essentially what's being described.
Right.
Telling you as the person managing the player. So that while you're in Mort's safe room, you are in a truly safe space that you are safe from harm while you are in there. So
I will clarify for
Yep.
going forward. Jade understands exactly what's happening.
Yep.
Rick is a boomer.
Yep, no, good. I just wanted to make sure that was clear with everybody. I won't pull that up too often. So,
Hey,
sorry, coming
Mort.
back.
Hey, Mort, you got
Mm.
any snacks?
Oh, what would you like? And so he toddles off. He's answered Rick going, you may leave anytime you like. The door will open for you. You are my, for better or worse, we are stuck with each other until you either succeed or die.
I look at Zachary and just say, he knows what snacks are, but not Tweety Bird. That seems.
And so as he goes around the counter and just
maybe he's
gets
not a million
behind
years
into
old
the
like you. I don't-
disappears into the kitchen, you hear fucking Tweety, fucking cartoons. The AI running this thing has some weird obsession with your planet. While we've been in stasis, that's all we have seen is fucking reruns of as you hear like A-Team, Tweety, Sylvester, fucking Tom and Jerry. And he's rattling off all these things
Looney
that bug him.
Tunes.
And then you just hear that voice rumble off, and so please carry on. He hasn't even asked what Alia wanted. He's just off getting food.
As he's grabbing snacks, Rick will just like raise a hand in the air and point to his side and just say, "Can you fix this?" And there's just a massive cut that goes from his shoulder all the way up and around. It's ripped through his shirt. Like there's blood pouring from it. I will remind you all, Rick ended that fight on 2 hit points.
I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3. I knew it was low.
Rick will just be like, can you?
I should
This
probably
hurt.
get that covered.
Rick passes out at that point.
I like take off my sort of jacket and sort of try and pat it.
I wish I didn't pass out. I don't want Zachary to help me.
Sucked in.
Damn it.
And while that's and Mort has come back out with just this, again, almost appears like something out of a cartoon, but this giant tray in both hands, just piled high with cheeseburgers. Just cheeseburgers, nothing else. There's just this massive tray, and plonks it on the table. There you go, snacks. And proceeds to be, he looks over at Rick and Zachary looking after him. He'll be fine. So Rick passing out is now on his way to a short rest, I guess, or a long rest, depending on how long he stays passed out there. At this point, with the announcement and everything rolling on, you guys have been, and the time you spent coming in last time, you would be coming pretty close to have been in this room for an hour with the food prep and the drinks and the discussion. So you would all have currently had a short rest. If you would like to mark that off for yourselves in either D&D Beyond or
Hey, Spa.
Forge, the Foundry. Yep.
Hey, Spa. I'll give you a quick reminder that at the end of last session, you gave everyone a long rest when we.
Oh, I did. Well, then why were you saying that you were cut from Arsehole the Brisket?
Because for the sake of role play, he still would have been. But from mechanics point, you specified that we got the benefits.
I did too. That's right. I gave you a long rest. No, thank you, because I had forgotten that. I appreciate that reminder because I had fucking completely forgotten.
We did like a weird like mechanics split from role play thing where technically we hadn't yet.
That's right. Yeah, no, that 2-week break. I had completely forgotten that. That is good to know. So you've got a passed out Rick. You've got Ivy catatonic. You've got food. You've got drinks. What would you like to do? You're safe at the
bag
moment.
of holding with cheeseburgers.
Sleep for 8 hours.
I'd like to ask Mort another question.
You can ask.
Hey Mort, I sort of came in with someone, but I must have lost them on the way in. Do you know how I can find them again?
A brief kind of look of sadness comes over, just a shadow of it over Mort's face as you ask that question. Nothing shows in his voice. You just catch a very brief glimpse of there's something there. And he just gives a little shake of his head. The best you can hope for is ask after them, get out of this level, ask after them in the world between. If you're lucky, they may have been brought to a similar instance or a nearby instance. You may be sharing the world in between with them, with your dungeon entrances. It's different every season, but you may see them on the highlight reels. The screens will come on from time to time and you'll see good, dumb, stupid, or entertaining things, you may see them there, but all you have is chance. I'm
Why
sorry.
does this straight up sound like the Hunger Games?
We're in a TV show.
Gotta love that YA fiction.
I'm very sorry. Who have you lost?
My
There's
wife,
a genuine concern and care.
Angelica Dusseldorf.
I'm sorry, Angelica fucking what?
Mort looked like he was about to say something more, but with Rick lurching to
No,
life
Rick's
like a
unconscious.
zombie.
That's Jade.
Oh,
That's Jade. That's me. I hadn't heard her name. Your name's what? Carry on. I can't... blindsided this episode.
That's what the
Feel
D after
somehow
my name
betrayed.
stands for, Dussel.
you characters clearly need to get to know each other a little bit better. And Mort just has this really compassionate, pats you on the hand, doesn't really have anything else to say. You can just see there's a definite sadness and cares for what you've lost, and but he's not saying a lot more than answering your question.
Okay, what do these, like, how do we get to level 2? Like, what will it look like? Where is it?
Is it behind that closed door?
So every level will be different. Some crawlers may end up in the same an instance of this dungeon like you are. Others will be somewhere completely different. It's different every crawl. It's different every AI, and this fucking AI seems to be especially mental. They're all fucking nuts, but this one, Jesus Christ, they're just mumbling off to himself. Anyway, and he catches himself from that little rant that he was about to head on. When you do whatever the dungeon requires, you'll have another portal come up like the one that you walk down. That will take you to the next level. It could be, and he's not looking at his list anymore. He's just you can see him ticking over his memory. It could be puzzles. It could be a fight. It could be little boss. It could be a big boss. It could be. All I can recommend is keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and pay attention to your surroundings. Look for the portal. I'm sorry. It's always different.
That's not helpful, but thank you. Anyway.
And he just sort of gives a little shrug and like the hands up gesture of, wish I could do more.
You mentioned you were a
good
crawler 15 cycles ago. Are the other inhabitants of this dungeon, like, were they crawlers as well? Or are they like humans from our world turned into those? Like, there's a group of green monster things outside that like seem that they could talk. I mean, Rick could understand them. It's a bit sus that he could, but anyway.
Yeah, Mort's nodding along with you as you're talking.
No.
Good question. Very good question. He's kind of looking at you in a new light. He kind of dismissed you a little bit when you came in, just with the garish outfit that seemed completely unsuited to survival in a dungeon. But he's actually giving you another reassessment here after that question. Was going, no. So there'll be many crawlers like myself who we took a deal. When you take a deal, you stop your crawl. Every deal's different. This was mine. For better or worse. Other people got it worse. Other people got it better. And he sort of looks like he's going to say more, but then catches himself. But the things you saw, those things out there, they're made up of all of the matter from your planet, as well as anything that was left over from previous crawls. They get constructed from that. They're not crawlers. They're not humans from your world. They're not even really real, but they are. And you can see he's sort of struggling to get a concept across here. And the worst bit is that they don't even know. Sometimes the last crawl, those green goblin bastards, they may have been a human priest. They may have been an elf princess. They're different. They're just matter that gets squished together and given sentience to a greater or lesser extent. And fuck, what a horrible existence. I don't think they remember it, though. God, I hope they don't.
Waking up.
I hope I don't remember this whole dream when I wake up. I mean,
it gives you just a soft little, like the soft pad of the paws. It taps you on the side of the chest. You're not dreaming anymore, Zachary.
oh shit, man.
Letting those two have their cute moment. Apparently, Zachary's already found his new wife. Rick will. He moved on quick.
Oh, you got it, man.
Hey, look, man, look.
What's
I'm,
the
look,
magician with
I'm
no
not a furry, but whatever you're into. Zachary will go over to Ivy. He won't try to interact with her. He'll just open her bag. And he'll just like slide the longbow that he took off the goblins into it, and like the 20 arrows, and then just close the bag and walk away. Zachary will also take out the long sword that he took off the hobgoblin and strap it to
It's
his...
my character, dude.
Hang
Oh
on,
my
sorry, you've
Zachary.
confused me here. Sorry, what's Rick doing?
Rick.
Passing out the loot.
Zachary.
Sorry, I've been thinking about Zachary for the last 10 minutes because I keep randomly laughing because ever since I found out your last name, I've just had Dusseldorf Evil Incorporated playing in my head on repeat.
Yeah.
And it's
What
so
is that
funny.
I knew I should have googled it before.
It's from Phineas and Ferb,
Harry,
Dr.
The
Doofenshmirtz.
platypus.
It's great.
It's
I
a
love it.
city in Germany, but
And it's an Evil
Oh.
Incorporated.
Yeah, of course.
God
but
damn
Sorry,
it.
I will put Rick will put the longbow and arrows into Ivy, and he will strap the new longsword to his own waist, and he will take the time to make it his dedicated weapon while they rest.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
That's it.
No problem.
Well, he will wait by the door for everyone else to be done so they can keep going because they have better things to be doing than talk to a Care Bear.
I do have another couple of questions.
Love it.
Yeah, the people outside of this safe room tended to not like us very much and attacked us on sight. Can that be expected from everyone we see out there, or will some of them not attack us and be nice like you?
Yeah. Some will do what those ones did. I can tell you that level 1, your training level, aside from this little bit of space, this is a hostile environment. You don't have any friends here. They're not very intelligent. You won't get a lot of communication. They're really here to test your mettle. But as you go through, the world and the dungeons will open up to a whole host of different interactions and opportunities. They won't all try and kill you. And just on that, he's also going to go, and please, 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 the only space, this may not seem like much now, but as I hope you get through this crawl and we can exit together, I hope you guys are my ticket out of here. But as you go through, make use of the bathrooms. When I got told this on my crawl, I thought my Bobka was a dick, but it is the only place where you'll truly be alone and have any peace. That may not seem like much, but once the viewership starts climbing and the longer you survive in this dungeon, you will come to appreciate that peace. And he points over to the door you saw. Everyone took it in as you came in, but didn't really register too much. And it's the doorway that just has cycling on an LED screen, little little icons for each of your races and genders is cycling around that. And it's an individual instance that you can simultaneously use, but it's an individual one just for you. So no shared stalls.
Hey, Pikachu,
Stabby face.
have you seen... Are you familiar with something called the Hunger Games? Out of curiosity.
Mort looks, and you can see him thinking hard. Is
You said viewers before, right? Like people are going to be watching. People, in quotation marks, are going to be watching this. Us.
Yes, and you can see he's trying to think over the concept of it. And he kind of says, I think it was screened during stasis.
Cool.
What was your question about viewers?
Can they
You want me to explain?
send us stuff like Survivor, like Hunger Games? If they like us, they can buy us stuff and send it to us. They can hamper and help us, or is it just a reality show type thing? Reality, in quotation marks again, show.
The individual viewers cannot, but should you be fortunate enough to survive long enough and create enough excitement or interest, you may well find corporate sponsors providing you with bonuses.
Damn.
But
I should have bought Apple. Oh well.
And again, he starts to say more and then catches himself. So there's more. There's obviously more to that, but like a few things that Mort has started to explain, he has pulled himself up.
Okie dokie. Well, Rick stands up and dusts himself off. You guys ready to go?
And you've all had your 8-hour rest
What
at this
happened
point.
to your that big hole in your side? Where'd that go?
My what? Sorry.
It's like
I actually didn't hear what you said.
It's like a gash in the side of your body.
If I don't look at it, I don't think about it. So, moving on.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is a dream, isn't it?
It's not a dream. Should you take your full 8-hour rest here, you will find yourself as good as new and your clothing repaired.
Sorry, Rick just gives Zachary a wink as he says that. Maybe Zachary's not so bad. I'm joking. Zachary's a fucking menace. But
is Rick verbalizing?
No, Rick doesn't say that.
Rick
doesn't
bipolar.
say that. No, Rick.
That's a great picture that Dante's just.
Rick is 2 days away from retirement. Okay. Doesn't have time for this bullshit. Everyone was like, "Oh, you all volunteered to come through." No, you fucking didn't. He was like, "People might be hurt." Oh, look, now I'm in a dungeon. Ah!
I didn't sign the contract.
Yeah, that AI is a bit of a dick. I'm not gonna lie. The whole corporation is, it's just they're strip mining your planet for human and other resources.
And here I was thinking they were the good guys.
All right, so at this stage, you're all healed up. To move that bit along, because we did, yes, thank you for that reminder, take that long rest to get ready for tonight's session. You know that you can at any point, if you come back to this safe room or others like it, you will be safe. And you can take long and short rests, including now that has led to you being returned to full health and spell slots, etc. You inherently have that knowledge as part of your entrance. Now, either into the crawl or into the safe room, you've got that with you. That those rests of 1 hour or 8 hours will result in essentially the short and long rest mechanics. Your characters now know how those work.
Is that even messing with our sleep?
Looking to Alia, I'm just going to point to Ivy and just say, we're leaving her here for now. Come back for later.
Yes.
We got stuff to do, and she kind of... Weird.
She needs to recoup.
Maybe we just leave her here for the whole thing.
I mean...
We are not leaving my mother behind.
Most of her family's
Bring her into
probably
danger, that's fine.
dead. I mean...
Dude,
Mort hears this
I'm
conversation
gonna growl
and
at
just...
Zachary. I'm gonna growl at Zachary.
Well, they are. All the
Dude, you go
buildings
from-
just went squish. They all
Actually, no,
died.
you know what? He makes a good point. Look, she's already
Like,
messed up.
billions of
It's not going to get any
people.
worse at this point. She's having a breakdown over there. We can say pretty much whatever we want.
Mort pipes up
It's
and
not
just
gonna make
says,
any difference.
if you leave her here, she'll be safe, as with any of you within these walls. But you must get her before exiting the dungeon, because she will be destroyed and her matter taken up if she is left in here. So if you exit
Plus
the
side,
dungeon,
Ooh,
one or
no
more
more
of you
trouble.
must come back to get her before you exit. Don't enter the portal without her unless you don't care about her well-being. I can't take her with me. It's outside of my ability. She'll be
Pour
evicted from
vodka
the
and
safe
being
room when you
confused.
leave.
That's what SpongeBob SquarePants is all about.
Mort definitely doesn't get that reference.
It's fine. It's fine. Rick's having
But he
fun.
did give a little thumbs up at the mention of vodka. You had him with vodka.
Let's go,
So,
I guess.
fill up on cheeseburgers. And
Take a cheeseburger. Why not?
You can take as many as you like. Remember, whatever form they go into your backpack,
Pretty sure
sack,
I
etc.
shoved
in,
them
they'll
all
stay
into
that
my
way.
bag when nobody was looking.
No, I'm fighting for them.
All right, the remainders have gone into. There was about 30 burgers that came out. So
It's 15
I know
each.
everyone was jumping into a few of them, but I reckon Alia could definitely have probably nicked about a third of them based off previous actions and behaviors.
My stealth is pretty damn fucking high.
Yeah, so at least 10 of those burgers are currently tucked away in amongst the garbage and everything else in your sack.
Good. Means no one else will touch them.
Garbage burgers.
All right, so you guys are heading out.
And I eat stuff out the trash. What's different?
It is in yeah, it's definitely in keeping. All right, so you guys are exiting the safe room. Is that right? Everyone's picked up Ivy's safe and sound with Mort. Everyone else is leaving.
Let me
yeah,
leave, damn it.
Should we leave a note for if Ivy wakes up?
Oh, that's a good idea.
She's fine.
Nah, Mort will tell her.
Yeah, Mort's got this.
Oh,
All right, so
yeah, I trust more.
the safe room door, Rick's opened the safe room door and exited out. So the hallway is quite dim. Down to the left of the door that you exit, it gets quite dark. And to the right is the path that you came in on. So that known space
Okay.
where the blue light is blinking.
Walking back down to the door to
Mhm.
look at mainly Fokionus, because he's the one I feel will probably be up front leading.
Oh,
I mean,
Okay.
I'm taking a left outside the door.
Fokionus.
yep.
Based on what we've seen, I think this whole place is symmetrical, right? Like, when we entered, we had the room to the left, room to the right. We went to the one to the left. Then we went straight through, and there was like the weird symmetrical hallway left, hallway right. And then we went in forward again, and there were the two tombs. This whole place seems to be symmetrical. And there was that big door. Do you remember back where the tombs were, where we killed the skeleton horse?
Yes. I do.
Surely that's got to be the exit, right? If this whole place is symmetrical, the big double doors is going to be the way out. What do you think?
You could be right, but do we?
I
have
don't
a
think
key?
there's any.
Did we try
point.
the door?
We do have a key, don't we? Don't we have a key?
Do we have a key?
I remember someone grabbing a key or something last session. Off those hobgoblins.
Me.
No?
No, there's no key.
Maybe the doors
You
just
haven't
unlocked.
encountered anything with a lock yet.
we
The,
also
the only
haven't tried
doors
the
you've
door.
come across that you've tried opened without trouble.
You big orc men first?
Okay, I can do that.
Sweet.
Trying to trick you so you're the one that dies first.
It doesn't matter where
I'll
I
be
stand
right
from
behind
before, I always get hit anyway.
I'll go behind Flock. Thinks Zachary wants me dead so badly.
Fock, did you end up
What?
equipping
I
the
don't want
shield
you to-
that Rick gave you last time around?
Oh, maybe.
Did you take? Okay, so
On the count of me remembering
yeah,
just now.
maybe-
Mine.
you have had the time to, and you guys did discuss it. I just thought
Yeah,
I'd
of
check.
course. What sort of shield was him?
It was just a straight standard shield.
Straight shield.
Just
I
shield.
do have it. Yes,
Plus
yes.
two.
I think you ended up with two of them because Rick didn't know that you already had one from the goblins,
That
and he
is
gave you another one, and you didn't tell him.
I meant to ask Rick actually, what happened to that goblin that thing you tied up before? Did you let him go, or
Rick will
is
look
he still there?
Rick looks at you and says, he kind of turned himself into a puddle of like him soup.
That's
I don't know. I've got no more. That's what
that's
what
messed
happened.
up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I tried talking. Speak to the AI about that one. Little dark. I feel like I was watching a show
I want
about
something
like
more PG rated.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, here I was thinking this was a family-friendly channel. Apparently not. This is some shit you'd see after 9 p.m. So,
This is Saturday morning, but before 6 a.m.
yeah.
This is old people who know what TV without streaming services is like. Before you guys continue,
References for all the oldies watching.
Jay, this is a question for you.
Sure.
When you said double doors, what were you referring to? Are you talking about where that, like the black? Yeah.
Yeah,
That was me putting a block there because I don't want that door to exist.
well, that would have been nice to have known soon.
Yep. Sorry, I just realized that it didn't actually hide the door that was there. I do apologize. That big black box is meant to be a continuation of the wall because I couldn't get the wall to. I wasn't smart enough to get the wall to work. Sorry.
Because J. Rod
So you've essentially got the alleyway down to your left, and then what you saw, which was a continuation. If I go back up to the horse, you know that there was a continuation of a hallway up there. So you've got the way you came, or down to the left where it's a bit darker.
I got stabbed real good before. I think I was hallucinating, man. Let's go left. Sorry, I had a sword shoved like all the way in me. Like it was like tip to hilt, man. Other way.
Go left.
Left.
The dark, scary corridor.
I'll squeeze against the wall so Yodas can get past. Like.
Yep. So Fox going down ahead of you. So
I'll come out next.
Other left.
Yeah, I'll cast light on my wand again, so you can see where we're going.
All right.
And
so you'll then need to be behind Fokionis for that to work with its to get a reasonable glow. With the way it's 15 feet, isn't it?
20
feet. Well, if you look at the hallway, it's quite a narrow corridor you're in at the moment, but you're definitely lighting it up. You decide your marching order, so I can put you in it.
I'm happy to be where Zach is if you want to cast it on me, Zach. If you'd like.
Yeah, I cast it on.
Because I've got my quarterstaff on my back, so you could cast it on that if you want. Because I'm not going to be using it.
Yeah, cast it on Rick's quarterstaff.
Rick's quarterstaff now starts glowing
bright,
radiant light.
Party a little bit.
It's all right.
Yep.
Who needs torches?
Figured out how to equip his shield, and he's just going to go one-handed shield, one-handed javelin to raise his AC to a paltry 16.
Good to know.
You're now tied for the lowest.
All right, so you're just everyone's just proceeding down the corridor. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, like carefully, like.
Okay. Yep.
Great trepidation, bro.
Yeah, like stealthily and.
Stealthily. Yeah.
Rick's not being stealthy.
Mate, I don't know the stealth.
Rick's not doing
that. Won't bother with stealth, but we're like sort of looking closely at the walls for the clues for the exit and traps as well.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. So that's Zachary's paying attention, looking around. At the moment, I'm not going to get you to do any checks or anything. You're not seeing anything despite the glow. So this slow and steady walk that you're on takes you up to. I'll put Fokionis in front of it because you can't all crowd into the space. So you can. This is you, Zachary, and I don't need to do a check on this. It's just the basics on you, which you passively can see by actively looking around. You can see that just in the floor, the dust that's there definitely seems to be some like footsteps and some scrapings. This has been a hallway that has been trafficked. So you can pick up that things of some kind have definitely walked through here.
Yeah, I like pointed out to the rest of everyone. Something's been along here.
Oh my god, why did my brain just go your bum?
All right. So
I will turning back, trying to like.
Can't even.
This is a sassy raccoon we've got in the party, guys. Jesus. Turning back to Zachary, Rick will say, "Could it have been the whole skeleton horse thing? Could it have been that? Is it us? Because we're in front of you. Are you just seeing our tracks, Zachary?
Zachary, you could do an investigation check if you would like to actually try and identify the footsteps and see if they were maybe those goblins or the horse, or
again,
not. That's up to you.
Could just be us. We're in front of you. I'm not going to say it makes the most sense, but it does.
5. Those tracks and scuff marks could be anything, including the big, not too subtle half orc that's lumbering along in front of you with a 5. But you definitely know something has been through here.
Yeah, sure.
So as you're carefully making your way along with the great bright glow coming off the quarterstaff, Bocchionis, you're in the lead, and you've come to a door on your left as you're coming through the corridor, and with the light from Rick, who's right behind you, you can also see that there's another door a little bit further up to your right. So there's one directly in front of you where you are currently stopped. You can continue walking if you'd like your party to follow, but you've got a door on your left.
Hi guys, there's a couple of doors here.
Left,
there's
fuck.
one on the left and the one on the right.
To the left, to the left.
Everything you own in a box to the left.
Listen to stuff first. See if there's
All right. So, well, I missed what's happening. There was a decision to go left, but has someone decided to open the door, or did Zach get his intention to wanting to listen at the door?
Said that does not mean that's what we're doing.
All right. So what are you doing?
Maybe putting fuck in front was a bad idea, guys. You know what? I'll admit it. Old Rick messed up on this one. Rick made a mistake here.
So what are you going to do, fuck?
Or, well, we could go left. That is an option. But what does everyone else think collectively? Not you, Rick. We know you think left, mate.
Symmetrical structure.
Just the first door you come across, you should check out.
What?
Left.
Left.
Okay, let's go left. Hey, I think it's locked.
Are you going to try the door?
I mean, I could knock, but what if they're not home?
What are you going to do with the door? I need to know.
I mean,
how many brain cells does this orc have?
Are you opening it?
I mean, at least I've got no tail.
All the better to whip you with.
I mean, I don't know what you're into in your own times.
Every time Fox speaks, I feel my brain cells killing themselves one by one.
Good, because maybe then you just do what you're told.
What are you guys doing with this door? You're currently standing in front of talking.
I mean, I don't know. You're an impartial bystander in a dungeon mastery type capacity, but I think that nothing's happening, mate.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with Fox here.
Let's knock and see what happens.
All right, let the angry furry one go. Fuck.
Open sesame.
All right, are you letting Alia through to open the door?
Sure, why not?
All right. So Ali is coming through, and the door just opens noiselessly to your touch. No resistance. No issue.
Oh, that's magic.
It wasn't locked. Bright light spills out into the corridor. It's an extremely well lit room, reminding you of the well lit sections that you walked through as you come through the brighter lit parts of the dungeon so far. Looking in, Ali, you get a good clear view. There's off to the right, you can see another one of those sarcophaguses, but this one appears to be sealed shut. There's some clay pots and things in the room, and a couple of torches actually visible this time instead of just being a hidden light source that are flickering beside the door. But it's brightly lit. You can see in, and Rick and Fokionis, you guys can, with a restricted vision, see a little bit into the room with the angles you're on. And Zach, at the moment, you're at the back and don't have any visibility into that room. All you can do is hear them having a chat about opening the door and ignoring you about listening. But it appears to be empty and brightly lit.
Okay, I'm gonna take a step in.
Right.
I mean, I thought we were supposed to throw someone's backpack.
Ain't no
Alia
Backpack.
has stepped into the room. As you do, underneath your foot, as you step into that very first tile, you feel a click. And even with your light weight, it depresses down, and you can hear what seems to be a fuse burning, maybe more than one.
Toasty.
Can I get you, please? I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, if I can find it.
Ooh, roll
There.
good.
And
23.
Oh, yes.
holy shit!
Next.
was that with a natural 20?
No, 18 plus 5 because I have a very high dexterity for my class.
All right, so I am definitely going to let you leap off this tile. You've successfully made the save, but that means you're going to take half damage as opposed to full damage. But holy shit!
Probably.
Yeah. So that's.
What if I jump back and shut the door?
Hang on a sec.
Just
One
like
door.
backflips.
There we go.
Slow motion.
Oof. Okay, you take 3 points. So what's going to happen is you can tell me the direction, because you did 23. I'll let you tell me the direction of your jump, of your move out of the way with that higher roll. But underneath your feet, where you heard that fuse, the tiles just explode around you. Some sort of explosive has gone off under there. There's fire billowing up. There's shrapnel from the stone flying around, and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Which way do you jump?
I jump back and close the door.
For the 23. All right.
I only take 3 damage.
You're back out. You can close the door behind you, but what you saw is a crater that was just smoking as you looked at it and shut the door. Nothing has come flying out at you. No, you don't seem to have made any bad guys upset. You're not hearing any baddies, any enemies, or anything that you heard previously when you were in the hallway and noise was made. And then the door shuts. What would you like to do?
Let's not go this way.
Yeah, whose idea was it to go left, guys?
I pass Alia my bedroll. I'll go first, but she's in front at the moment. I'll happily give. Hey, it worked last time, didn't it? Did we hit any traps? Bedroll works. I'll
creator now. Can't do shit.
I'll sort of step past Alia and say, "Do you mind if I?" And just sort of point to the door.
Be my guest.
All right, so Rick and Ali are stopping. So, yep.
And step into that first spot where the crater was.
Yep, and it's safe for you to do so. It's a little bit warm, but it's
awesome.
The smoke seems to have been suctioned away quite rapidly.
Taking the bedroll off, I take a 5-foot step back into the hallway, and I throw my bedroll onto 10 feet. So skipping that first square onto the next one.
You throw or roll?
Straight ahead. So I'm actually going to use.
Just lands the full force on that one.
So you're throwing it to there.
I'm throwing it here.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Anything happen?
Nope.
Cool.
Bedroll's fine.
I will walk onto this one, and then I will throw the bedroll on this one.
Okay.
And I will stand in this room and throw
the
bedroll and then I'll collect the bedroll, then I'll throw the bedroll, then I'll
Bedroll,
collect
mine's
it,
okay.
and I will just make us a line like all the way through this room to the next door.
Yeah, mine's
with
through
the
the bedroll.
just-
Rick's done this before, I think.
Now, with
Yeah,
the
outside.
with the
You were
second throw that you did to the diagonal, you hear that familiar click that was very audible when Alia stepped into the room, and your bedroll, which doesn't have a saving throw.
No, my bedroll's gone. Like, my bedroll's gone. We don't have to roll. It's
Yeah,
a bedroll.
your bedroll just it initially pops up in the ground with the explosion, the shockwave, and the shrapnel starts to press through it, and then just this fireball engulfs it, and your bedroll is
This room's a hotbed.
it's now an X bedroll. So
Hey,
what you've now
Zach.
got is a crater inside the doorway and a crater diagonally to the right.
I have 2 questions. The second question is going to depend on the first question. Does anyone here have a bedroll I can borrow? I can't promise you're going to get it back.
I mean,
Yeah, I got
Would
one.
be
I got one.
negative.
Or,
I
on
got one,
another
I'll
note,
mark it.
Zachary, these
If only-
backpacks, they said they were magic, they could just hold a bunch. Can they be destroyed by fire?
yes.
Okay.
Now,
I take the
that's a
backpack
question
off
for
and
Mort.
I'll just use my backpack. Might as well find out if it can
I
be
can give you
destroyed
my
now.
bedroll if you
Wait.
want.
Didn't someone pick up a big pile of garbage before?
No.
Gave all the garbage away, thank you.
We'll
Pointing
throw
to your
bits of
shield.
garbage. I'm sure it will be okay, and you'll get him back.
Fine. You can
So-
have a little bit.
I'll take some.
So Ali's come
most
across
generous
how much
Garbage rations, bro.
how much garbage are you handing to who? Because I think you've got 50 pounds of.
I
you
got
fif-
60.
So you got 60 pounds of garbage, and you've also got 15 pounds of scrap metal, and I think you got so much shit.
Could
So
I have
What
Could
are
I
you giving
have-
to who?
Could I have 7 pounds of garbage? I'll ask Alia very nicely, and I'll trade her. I will take 7 pounds of garbage because that's exactly how much my bedroll used to weigh, so I know that weight. In exchange, I will give her a water skin and a small knife to add to her collection.
Nah, you can keep them, but you can have the £7.
Awesome. I do owe her 7 pounds of garbage.
So Rick, you've got this 7-pound double-handed just mix of
Garbage.
literal garbage. You got wrappers in there. You've got some food matter and waste. You've got things you probably don't want to look too closely at. In the 2 hands, some loose, some sticky, some firm. What are you gonna do?
So obviously I'm a monk. I'm exceedingly dexterous and exceedingly
You are.
wise. So knowing those 2 things, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step forward.
Yep.
And then in the carefulest, most graceful way I can, I'm
Mhm.
gonna yeet that shit.
You're gonna start eating rubbish around the room.
I will yeet it right here.
Yep,
onto
and
this
you remember
square?
you've got a crater beside you as well. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. You yeet the. I'll give you credit for putting that. I just wanted to see what you did, because if you're just throwing it without forming
Yeah.
it into a sticky bomb,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
like-
going to work. So
Yeah.
your sticky bomb rubbish pile lands and nothing. It lands roughly where you would expect your bedroll to. Nothing happens.
Sweet. I then throw it on the one in front of the door.
Yep, and when you throw it in front of the door, and now a familiar click and an eruption, and that pile of that
Hot
sticky bomb of
garbage.
garbage just gets scattered around, and around half of it just gets splattered across you as it sprays around the room.
I had a sword in me. Not the worst thing that's happened today. I move on. I will
Visions of
then.
you, like peeling a dodgy band-aid or wrapper off your face.
But you now have a safe, very clear safe passage that you have described and created to the next door.
Bro, throw some garbage at that sarcophagus.
I will take my quarterstaff and I don't have any garbage left, and I'll jam my quarterstaff into if there's a crack in it, and I'll see if I can get it open. If
Yeah, so as you poke at that one, you don't even need to do a check on it. It's similar to the ones that were beside where you stashed the goblin bodies. It appears to be one of those decorative solid concrete
It's a
sarcophaguses. It has been placed there more as a pretty clear. It's one of the decorative ones. It does not appear to have any kind of opening or residence.
Okay, cool. In that case, there's a cat about to fuck up some Lego over here.
Looks like he's about to chomp on it.
They do like to chomp on that one in particular.
It's alright. I heard the Lego was asked.
Big and juicy.
They've already destroyed 2 ships, one of which took me 7 hours to build.
Yeah.
And I haven't rebuilt it yet because it just took too long. Okay, I will.
You need the Craggle.
Rick will walk over to Alia, reach into his backpack, and just hold out a hand for her to take something from him.
Oh, goody.
I will give her 5 gold coins.
Oh, fuck. Money.
Oh, she takes that over your trinkets and knives. That raccoon knows the value of a coin.
And then Rick will,
Shiny.
Yeah, true.
Rick will, taking advice from his least favorite member of the party, Zachary. He will move along his safe area. You killed a dude first. He will move along his safe area and try to listen through the door and see if he can hear anything on the other side.
All right. Can you give me what are you doing? Listening. Give me an investigation for that one.
Okay.
Oh, perception. Sorry, perception. Oh,
there it is.
Perception. Sorry, wrong one. So if pressed up against the door.
23.
That wasn't a natural 20, was it?
It was, but natural 20s on skill checks aren't an automatic success. It's just a really good roll. Unless you're doing something different. But yeah. It was, but meh.
Yeah, no, it's good to know. You've got your ear to the door. You can hear what sounds almost like a ventilation system. Taking like what you're used to hearing in a big industrial air conditioning unit. You've heard them before. You're familiar with them in your work, especially in hospitals. That sounds distant, though. It's not like it's in the next room. You can hear it kind of reverberating, possibly through the walls with such a high roll. And you can also hear what sounds to you like just really faint little scurrying sounds. It doesn't sound big, but you can definitely hear that there's something possibly. You can't get a huge read on it, but there's definitely some sort of scurrying around and what sounds like like the wind blowing through spider webs with a high roll. I'll give you that.
Okay, sorry, I was watching my cat jump off that shelf then. For a moment, he was.
Oh, he moved a few Lego while I was watching.
It looked like he was about to jump somewhere that he shouldn't have been jumping. Get from between the monitor. Get! I don't care if your mum's not home at the moment. I'm not going to give you attention. I'll cuddle you later. Are the others behind me, or are they moving forward? Or
at the moment, you're the only one who said that you've moved up to the door and listened.
Yeah, I'll move up as well. I mean, I'll be in the room with Jay.
I'll be behind Zach. I learned my lesson.
Yep, so you're up beside him. Oh, actually, you're following the safe path, hey? The
Yep.
safe path, yep.
Please don't kill me.
Yes, please, safe path.
I know you said you were behind Fokionis. Yep, right, there's your order based on the safe route that was mapped out with bedrolls and Alia's body.
My toasty paws.
And sticky garbage bombs.
Rick will take out 2 of his torches out of his backpack and drop them on this space here, this area here, to see if anything happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. The
Awesome.
torches
Rick
just land with a thump.
Rick will step to the side, like not all the way out of the way, but sort of like against the door. And is there a door handle or something?
There doesn't appear to be a handle. It appears to be the same as the one on the other side that Alia opened, where she simply just pushed on it and it on well-oiled hinges slid open. Oh, sorry, swung open inward.
Okay, Rick will put a hand on the door and he'll wave to Fokionis to come and come closer, sort of thing, so that the squishy ones aren't in front of Fok anymore. If he can squeeze past Zachary there a little bit without blowing himself up.
Do you follow that instruction, Fokionis? Sidestep past Zachary so you're in front of the door?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Have we lost Dante?
I think we have. Yeah.
And what?
Oh, no, there he is.
Exactly.
Oh no, he's back. So did you, Zach? Not Zachary. Sorry, Rick asked if you would come through and stand in front of the doorway beside him and protect the squishies.
I will, but I will pull my shield very heftily out in front and brace myself for
Yep.
impact.
Rick will. I'll point out. Rick isn't like. I know it's hard to in D&D, but Rick is like covering half the door himself, just ready to open it so that the two of them are the first in. Not
Yeah,
to
I go what you meant. You just
raccoon
can't
or-
occupy the same space. You're looking to be able to enter essentially right on Fokionis's heels. I get it.
basically, yeah. And then I'll just look at Fokionis like, you good to go, buddy?
Yeah, man, we're gonna
Oh,
breach.
Rick has drawn his long sword too.
I've got my javelin.
Yeah. Would anyone else like to do anything to be ready
Yeah, I'll look back
before
at Zach and them waiting for them
the door opens?
Nah, I don't want to have an arrow ready yet. Since I got yelled at last time.
Just don't murder sentient beings. It's not hard.
It's not
Bite
really
me.
murder if they're attacking us, is it?
They're not real.
Exactly.
They're garbage.
I know.
All right.
Right, let's go. Let's go to open this door. man.
Rick pushes the door. Rick will like heft
Alright.
the door open and step through with Fok.
All right. So now, Fokionis, you were talking about breaching. Are you just going to step through like Rick is kind of carefully stepping through on your heels, or are you charging in? What are you doing?
Oh no, I've just got to be
Fok's
careful.
gonna murder the first thing he sees.
All right.
No,
So in order for
you shout at me,
100%.
and you're an angry man.
So you kind of aggressively but carefully coming through. So Fokionis has come through. Rick's on his heels. Zach and Alia, as best I'm aware, are just continuing the convoy, and you've come in with this expectation. And what you've walked through, and Fokionis has taken the worst of it, is it's really well lit. It's airy. It's spacious. There is a shitload of spider webs around, and you've got a face full of them, but they're not impeding your movement or anything like that. It just appears like almost like a disused space, even though it curiously looks like
It's a
really
blockbuster.
a really light, airy, well lit space. There's two ornate columns that appear to be radiating the light. You can't actually see the light source from them, but it's radiating from inside and filling up the entire area. There's a really ornate sarcophagus that's got what appears to be Egyptian-style hieroglyphs all over the top of it, with some seats at either end, like bench seats that wouldn't look out of place at an art gallery looking at a piece of art. There's a string of suits of armor of varying kinds around the outside of the room, ranging from like gladiatorial style, Roman style, Greece and Macedonian. There's a whole range of those different types of suits of armor, and again, they wouldn't look out of place as museum pieces on pedestals. It's apart from the spider webs that are, especially for Fokionis, who's taken the brunt of them, it's quite an inviting space.
Quick question.
Yep.
I noticed you said spiderweb several times.
Yes, and lots of
Are there any, I don't know, spiders?
No, that you.
Even that I heard scurrying in here.
I won't make you do a check on this because it's an easy answer to give you there. Despite the fact that there's a lot of spider webs around, there does not appear to be any spiders in them that you can currently see.
Cleaning crew.
There is definitely like quite a few webs between like the statues and hanging from different parts of the roof, and obviously over the door frame where spiders like to congregate. There was quite a few there, and there's a few more scattered throughout the room, but it's by no means like, it's not like Shaleb's lair in Lord of the Rings where it's this intense sticky mess. It's just it's an annoyance. There was definitely at some point spiders here making a lot of webs, but they don't appear to be here at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we keep walking? Do we start throwing garbage onto other squares? What do we think?
Rick,
How far can we see if there's spiderwebs everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, the spider webs, they're quite light and wispy. They're not really affecting your visibility at all. The room itself is the 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30, 40, 40. The room itself is it's brightly lit. You've all got clear visibility. A little bit of obstruction around the pillars, but you definitely can see the entire room. Like you can see the suits of armor down the far end. The corners are a little bit more
they're gonna
dimly
come
lit.
alive and kill
Yeah,
us.
definitely.
But the room itself is bright and airy, and there's steps up onto a platform that's around 10 feet high. The stairs leading up.
I don't think
to that
anyone has
sarcophagus.
specifically said this, and because all DMs are assholes, don't worry. I know it's okay. You're allowed to be. I would like to very specifically look at the roof. Are there spiders on the roof, Spar?
Yeah, you look up and you give it a good inspection. The ceiling is quite high, but it's still visible and clearly lit. So it's the same as the previous areas of it. It's about a 15 to 18
Cool.
foot ceiling.
Spiders?
You can see the spider webs attached there, but no, you do not see any spiders.
Okay, I want to
lurking on the
specify.
rooftop.
Do I see any other creatures other than us?
Okay, you do
You're
not
gonna
see
spring
any
like
other
that, "There's no spiders,
creatures.
there's a dragon."
It is so airy and well
Spider-Man.
lit. You do not need to even do a roll for me on this. You can. There is nothing
How
there
much of an
that you can
asshole do you
see.
think he is?
No,
Clearly
see,
a lot more than I am being.
I think Spire is genuinely one of the kindest people I've ever met. But I'm a lifetime DM, and I know what an asshole I am, so I can't make assumptions when someone else is in that chair.
I think that's fair.
So you and me.
I think that's very fair. So what would you guys like to do? You've got, at the moment, you've got a suit of armor on either side of the door beside you. There's 2 more off to the left, and then there's 2 more directly ahead of you. Essentially, the ones opposite are framing another doorway, and then the other 2 are in that in front of that block of black that I was trying to turn into a wall and I failed. That's meant to be a solid wall.
Right.
So
on the inside, we still see it as a solid wall.
Yeah, it's meant to be a solid wall. We just pretend it's continuation of the bricks. I just couldn't get it to.
Oh, okay. You weren't
work.
hiding it because you were revealing it later. You just didn't want it there.
No. I just for this dungeon level, I just wanted that to be a solid wall for the layout, and I just could not make it happen, and it gave me the shit. So I put a big black block there. No, there's not even a door there. There's just it's a wall.
So I can use a second spell, can I?
You can what? Sorry.
I can use another spell.
Knowing through that.
No, it's all right.
Can I quickly go over and go through that door on our left?
The one that's not there.
Yeah, the door.
That's funny.
All of a sudden, 37 giant spiders emerge. No. 37 in a row.
You called me crazy.
I'm 37? No.
So at the moment, you're all hovering on either side of the doorway. Nothing's happening apart from some spider webs kind of blowing around a little bit.
Clear out these spider webs. I hate them.
You can
Send
bat at them.
Can you do something with like a flamey spelly thing?
I'll step up next to Fock as is happening.
See the spider webs. I take a torch out of my backpack and light it with the tinderbox. And so wave that a few of the spider webs.
Right,
oh, that's a good idea. Rick will do the same thing.
Yep. Look, with your reach,
Firestarter.
You're essentially.
Well, nothing else in this room is flammable, is it? And it's stone. It's made of stone.
Thankfully for you guys, that sound that Rick could hear, it appears to be some kind of ventilation, because as you're burning spider webs, they don't go up in smoke like they're paper. They do burn essentially around as far as you can reach. So you're clearing your square essentially, and out to, I think some of you have a 5 or 10 foot reach and up. So you've really still got from the ceiling, there's still a good 10 feet of spider web you can't reach, but you can certainly clear it. If you're walking with your torches, you can burn the spider web away that's either frightening or annoying you. For those of you, I think, that have torches, 3 of you at least have indicated you're doing that.
I've got a torch, maybe. I do have a torch.
So I've got you at the moment still around the doorway. So Zach, are you moving up next to Fokionis to light tinder and burn? And Ali, you're coming into the room?
Yes, maybe, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
My whole desk moved and I don't know why.
Oh.
Okay, so as the final member of your party enters the room, that door just silently slides shut
Oh my
behind you.
God
No
damn.
noise, no fuss.
God, fucking.
It just has slid shut.
Okay.
Righto, this is fine, I
At least
guess.
the lights didn't go out.
That's fine. I'll go
Say
over to the
these things.
sarcophagus. Rick's gonna go just wander over to the sarcophagus.
At least the walls
Yep.
aren't closing in on us.
Is it sealed the same as the other ones?
Yeah, this sarcophagus is sealed up like the other ones. It's much more ornate and it's larger. There's definitely a lot of markings on the stone around it as well. Like it's clearly experienced a lot of foot traffic around that particular surface at the top of the platform, but it is sealed.
Is there anything on it? Like, like obviously it's marked and it's very ornate. Is there anything on it that looks like it shouldn't be there? Like anything that's been placed on it or around it that like isn't a part of the sarcophagus? Like think creatures have been putting stuff there or anything?
No, aside from it looks quite pristine and clean, and the only thing that looks sort of odd are the two bench seats. Again, that really look like they're viewing bench seats from an art gallery at each end of it.
Can I? So the door behind us, did it lock? Can I like check that we can just open it up again?
Yep. So you can go and push on that door, but it won't
Yeah.
budge.
Cool. That's
It's
not
closed.
Shit.
Yep, that's
It's not good.
I'm gonna wander down to these two suits and just knock them both over.
Yeah. Which one are you going to first?
Oh, the one on the left, the one closer to them.
Yeah. So
Just with my quarterstaff, just put it on like its shoulder. Oh no, where I was. I don't want to be in front of it. I want to be like on the side of it, so I can, like push
to
it
that
over
one.
to the side. Yeah.
So the instant you touch that statue with your quarterstaff, it comes to life essentially, and it fills with
They said I was crazy.
energy, and the one beside you on the other side does as well. So where they looked very ornate and beautiful, they stand taller than what they were before, towering over you, towering over Phocyonis even, and lumber off their pedestal. And I need all of you to go ahead and roll initiative.
If Rick didn't understand the rules of this dungeon before, he certainly doesn't now.
Now, as you're doing your initiative roll, that familiar voice that you are now getting familiar with, I don't know whether you're getting sick of it or not, comes up and you hear it, the boss battle. Here we have in the red corner some dickhead with a quarterstaff, and in the blue corner two suits of armor coming out to say g'day. Good luck.
Who is this announcer? Who did they hire to do this? It's so unprofessional, dude.
Big Kev.
It'd probably be that guy that got to level 11 gets to do this.
You
reckon Mort's moonlighting as the fight announcer? He's there on that.
Someone from Mort's party. It's okay. We'll get halfway through. We'll get to another boss battle, and we'll figure out where Zach's wife went at that moment.
Hopefully.
Now,
those changed. Okay.
The two suits of armor are now awakened. Now, the one that you poked, the one on the left, out of the crevices and nooks of it, it sort of shakes itself as it gets up, and you see this swarm of spiders just come out of every nook, cranny, and crevice as it's kind of standing upright and forming itself into shape, and they just scatter around the remaining cobwebs that they were able to reach around the room, because you guys have cleared the corner up to the sarcophagus and down to Rick, but there's still a lot of cobwebs left, and they have disappeared onto those. Just a huge swarm of spiders that were apparently residing quite peacefully inside that suit of armor.
Quick, Aliyah, have you got a really big cup and a piece of paper in your bag?
Well, I need your initiative rolls.
Oh, shit.
Please.
23 for Rick.
All right.
That?
Fucking monks.
Oh, fuck
That's
me.
inside.
26.
Holy shit. Actually, I know what yours is.
Oh my god.
What?
Don't worry. Snap.
No, wait. Wait, hang on. I think I have a special trait for that.
You've got your one. You can re-roll your one.
Okay, I can re-roll. I got a 1 and I was like, oh no.
You can
But I
reroll
have
that
lucky,
one.
so I can re-roll.
So what did you get?
12.
All right. And Fokionis?
4, bro.
4. All right.
Well, that's what
And
I
the suits of
technically got.
armor. Suits of armor got 14. Oh, Jesus. Yep. And the spiders got shit.
Worse than 4.
No, they got better than that. They got better than 4.
Well, then it's not shit, is it, buddy? Hey?
No, 4's pretty shit. All right, so we will have. Oh my god, look at that! How high did you guys roll? We'll have Zach, then we'll have Rick. Just for those, I know you have some of you like keeping track of the initiative order. Zach, Rick, then the suits. Suit 1, suit 2.
Can we like end there and start the fight next week?
Hang on.
It's like 1:45.
Hang on. We got the
I'm
suits. Then we've got
If you look at the
Alia.
top of Spa's head this way.
Yeah, that must be a great sight.
Very
Then the
shiny.
spiders, and then Fokionis.
So mean, Egg.
Ah,
Spa's used to it.
I've seen his hairline. It's going the same way. He might as well sling shit while he can.
Oh no!
And on that note, that is where we're going to pull up, where Rick is standing between 2 suits of armor that have lumbered to life and expanded in size quite dramatically, towering over him. Spiders, a swarm of those that came out of the left suit of armor have disappeared around the room somewhere, and the other 3 of you are clustered over at your door, and your other teammate is catatonic in the safe room. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight. And if you wanted to know it, it was for next time round, Zach will be up first, then Rick, then the suits, Alia, spiders, and Fokionis.
Yes, I definitely know where I am.
Right. Fireball.
You,
Oh, my
you're gonna
bow
go
and
and throw a
arrow bites a
fireball at Rick?
bunch.
You guys finally got there. I was wondering if you're going to make it into this room tonight. The the way we were going. Especially with the door. Yeah. I will applaud the sticky bomb garbage trap finder, because I was waiting for the bedroll to get blown up, and I was wondering what you were going to throw next after the bedroll went.
See, my stupid idea of collecting everything and anything comes in handy.
Yeah.
Your rubbish raccoon paid
You
dividends
just-
there, that's for sure.
You just need a 10-foot pole.
Just casually, and then maybe a raft that you can carry around with you as well, just to have that handy. But no, very cool. Well done, all. You successfully navigated through to what appears to be at least one of the boss battles
Still
for this level.
alive.
You are still alive, and you are here with your current party, and we'll see. Hopefully, Lily can rejoin us next week as well.
Well, that's what the noise
Hopefully.
has been the entire time. Okay.
Yeah, some of the maps have built with the Foundry packs. I've got have built-in ambience.
Yeah,
Say
when you
that.
moved me next to that fire thing, I I couldn't hear anything.
It got loud.
I've
quick.
got it turned down quite a bit in
Ooh.
Foundry, but I think
can
you
adjust
have
it
to do it.
yourself as
You have
well.
to. I'm pretty sure you have to do it individually. But if
Yeah,
you
if you-
can't,
I
let me know.
didn't even know what that is until I
if you-
closed it, and
if
it's
you
like
go to-
pure silence. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, if you go to the playlists, like the little symbol, music symbol in the top of Foundry, you can adjust them down. I turned the ambient down like 30 seconds after it started. Oh, fuck, that's loud.
Yeah, and I've even got it. Obviously, what I've have it down, it doesn't turn it down for all of you. Apparently,
No.
then because I have the
Right.
master one, because otherwise it was blasting my ears when I was testing Foundry out. I'm like, whoa, that needs to go down. So good to know. I'll need to keep that in mind for future ones as well. Oh, we got there, and we will hopefully have Lily back, so you have your cleric for this next week as well.
Hopefully.
Hopefully she's back, and there's a way for her to come and
Yeah, we need
She'll be
Mort
back.
to
She'll
leave
be
the
here for
safe
the next
room
one.
and come help us.
Yeah, but can she get into the room we're in? That's the question.
We have to go
Oh.
back and get it, don't we?
Who knows?
I'll go back and get her. You guys can.
Yeah.
She can have a chill time hanging out with Mort.
if
We'll take
she's
care of the boss fight.
if she's here next week, I have a plan for dealing. Oh, I've got a plan for dealing with whatever eventuates. So hopefully she's here.
Ooh,
Sounds like
whatever.
DM speak for I'm gonna wing that shit. Man.
Yeah,
DM
let's
reference.
go with
Neither confirm nor deny.
let's go with wing it, and I won't show you my OneNote with all the shit I've got written down.
Yeah. You've got a tab in that OneNote called Wing It Shit, and then a list of stuff that you can use to quote unquote.
It's not actually called wing it shit, but I think it's called miscellaneous reference.
Who's the teacher now? Yeah. You've got a folder full of fucking photocopies for rainy days that you're on sick leave. Yeah, I know how it goes.
Are
I'm
you
gonna be
staying?
watching Spa DM this game now really makes me miss being in the DM seat. Anytime I'm DMing, I miss playing, but the moment I have another DM, I'm like, man, I really want to be DMing now. Man, I want to be doing that.
Is it like those mobile ads where they're just doing it so badly that you want to do it?
No.
I was waiting for. He's like, nah.
Yes.
Egg can't
Yes,
let
it
this
drives me
go.
nuts.
No, never. Unlike those mobile ads. Got nothing. I didn't know where I was going with that. I started.
2 seconds. Hey, everyone
You know
who hung
what?
around
I
and
might
watched.
actually take this to work and put it on my desk.
Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to raid out to another D&D stream, and we'll be back next week. And the video will be up on YouTube. If you want to catch any of the rest of our discussions or anything you missed tonight, it'll be there. And get ready for this. See how this fight unfolds next week. But we'll see you next Monday. Thanks for your patience the last couple of weeks while real life's been going on. Peace out. Love you all.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna go now.
Alright,
I'm gonna
we
go
are
pee.
done streaming.
Now, I made this on the fly because I remembered that I can make shit even though I don't have a camera.
I saw that one come up, but then when you had Mort with the sword, oh man.
Well, I actually like found this picture, but then added shit. Like, I'm very proud of the Care Bear like stare image in the middle.
Hang on, I need to zoom in on that then. Oh, that's cool. I on the little screen I couldn't see that it was the 2 beers clinking. Dude, that is awesome. You need to please send me those images. I'll figure out what I can do with them.
Cool.
See you, Racer.
See
you,
guys.
Racer.
I'm gonna duck off and go to bed early.
No worries at all, man.
Play some PUBG. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
We'll play some PUBG.
Bye.
Alright. Don't murder anyone.